Hey, this is Kenny for Vox, and today I would like to do a deep dive into the new Valvenergy Smooth Impact. So just like all Valvenergy pedals, this also has a Nutube built into it, which makes this the very first tube-driven compressor pedal. And the layout is very, very simple. Output, comp, tube gain, and a mini toggle switch. Super simple. Output obviously allows you to adjust the overall output. The comp knob allows you to adjust the amount of compression, and the tube gain allows you to set the amount of input going into the new tube. And the mini toggle switch allows you to switch from vintage, natural, or sag. So the vintage mode is more that traditional guitar compressor pedal where you get that quick attack, long decay, so you can't really hear that crazy peak or the spike going into it when you hit the guitar. The natural is actually a softer attack and you get a quicker decay, which is more for just kind of a leave it on style compressor pedal. And the sag mode emulates the tube power amp being pushed all the way, so you get that distortion and natural compression. So let's get to it. The signal is guitar, smooth impact, silk drive, going into cab mode, set to real clean. Going into the audio interface direct. So let's get into the vintage mode, which is more that, again, squashed compressor pedal type of sound. So this is just the silk drive. Great sound, nothing wrong with it. But you want to get that real kind of funky tone, so I'm going to turn up the comp a little bit just to start it off, and you hear how that sounds. Without. So it's kind of low heavy on this. By turning the compressor on, the low end tucks in a little bit and then you can hear the higher strings pop out a little bit more. So each individual notes are nice and even now. Nice. Turning up the tube gain. So now we're introducing a little bit of that grit to it. So the attack isn't as just spiking and peaking all the way. And isn't it cool that you can see the LED screen? You can see when the compressor is in effect. Compressor on, compressor off. On, off. So it doesn't matter how hard I hit the guitar, it doesn't get any louder. And I'm trying really hard to play really, really soft, but I can't because the note kind of lifts up a little bit dynamically. It's still dynamic, but you can hear it and feel it being a little bit squished. So I'm going to switch over to the natural mode, same exact setting, hear how it sounds. I could play a lot softer. You can still hear the attack coming out a little bit more clear compared to the vintage mode. And I feel and hear the top end blossoming a little bit more compared to the vintage mode. Very subtle. is great for that finger style playing. This gets a little bit too squishy, almost muffled tone. This is with the natural mode. Not as muffled. So if you're playing a lot with fingers, the natural mode might be the right mode for you. Cool. Let's switch to the sag. Setting to, let's set it like this. Out with. Nice. It's a good start. Bigger and just warmer sounding. I'm going to turn up the tube gain. You really hear that grit now. That sounds really cool. Nice and classic sounding compressor. So I'm going to set it like this, where the comp and tube gain are at 3 o'clock, so they're well pushed. And I'm going to go through different modes and hear these differences. So I'm going to switch to the natural mode and just kind of cycle through them. So if I were to use this as more of a leave it on style compressor, I'll obviously put it on natural or even sag to really get this warm, fuzzy feeling of a tube compressor. But if I want more of that traditional, funky squash tone, then switch over to vintage. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of a left turn now. I'm going to go guitar, pedal, directly into the audio interface, no emulation, and kind of get this direct guitar recording sound. So you've heard this on so many records, from classic rock, funk, R&B, you name it, anywhere from vintage back in the 70s, even to this modern day. It's a well-used technique where if you record your guitar directly into the audio interface, you get this real direct, punchy guitar tone. And it sounds like this. So the thing is that you'll see the attack coming out. It's really nice and punchy, but the note definition isn't there as much. So that's when you hit the compressor like the Smooth Impact. So we're gonna get into the sag mode and hear how it sounds. So this is without. This is with. So you hear that note sustaining really, really nice. Without. So the low notes are surviving, but the top notes are just dying off real fast. S2. So that makes a huge difference. So I'm going to turn up the tube gain and compression. Very cool. Natural mode. Yeah, so you get that more of a direct tone, obviously, because it's in that natural mode. Vintage mode. You'll hear that sustain, but it's missing that quacky, punchy attack. So for this sound, I'd go for the sag mode, because you're getting best of both vintage and natural mode. So I love the simplicity and the flexibility of the Smooth Impact. The simplicity part is obviously the layout. It's got 3 knobs and a mini toggle switch that allows you to switch between 3 modes. And I love the flexibility of the 3 modes. The vintage mode is that classic squashy compressor pedal, and the natural mode is more for the modern player who likes to use fingerstyle playing or tapping. And also the sag mode is for the players who love to record their guitar directly into the audio interface, but want that a little bit of that tube warmth and grit. For more information, please visit voxamps.com. Thanks.